Hi folks, it's Jay. I visited a garden that tells the story of love. Love for every object they found, and love for every stranger they encounter. Love for the beauty they see every day. But it's a story I can never fully truly tell you, as it's a story of love that will never truly end. This is the garden of Dean and Jody in the city of Tonawanda, USDA Zone 6. It is part of the Open Gardens program in Western New York, and I'm with the gardener Dean and Jody here. Can you say a quick hi to us?
Hello everybody.
Hi everybody.
Before we start taking a walk in your garden, I see something quite interesting right next to you.
This glider right here is the first piece that Jody and I worked on when we were dating. So we've had it for over 30 years. And
So this is where your entire garden journey started.
correct.
Yeah.
And that's when I knew Jody was the girl for me, because I had bought this and she wanted to get right in and refinish it, and that's how it all started.
Yeah, the color is just stunning. So this is a really cherished piece
It
in
is.
your garden, but you
Yeah.
have much more than this.
Yeah.
Can we join you on a walk in your garden?
Sure.
This giant black-eyed Susan vine, this must be at least 10 feet tall.
Well,
This is
you
an
know-
annual vine, right? You do not overwinter them.
No, we buy a hanging basket every year, and we always put it in this whiskey barrel
Yeah.
in this location, and we've just had great success with it every year.
Yeah, this is magnificent. How many vines do you put in this container? Just
Well,
one?
It's one hanging
Oh,
basket.
one hanging basket.
Yeah, and
Okay.
I think it's two different plants because there's a yellow and an orange.
Oh yeah, this is lovely. I'll follow you. So is this a recycled and repurposed door here?
This is a door we got from an antique dealer that we go to quite often, Jettle Mills. A guy out there, Todd. We've become really good friends with him, and we bought quite a few pieces from him.
But this just gives you a sense of entry and welcome you, invite you into the garden. There's something very special under my feet. So this is a Slate patio area?
Yep, we used to have a boardwalk here, and we took it out this past year and put down the flagstone. And it was quite an accomplishment to do it. My son and son-in-law helped me do it all.
Wow, yeah. But you have some quite dramatic pieces in terms of size and shape. This just provides a sense of drama in this patio area. And it's it's very bold. The pattern and the shape is very bold.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun actually doing it because it was like a big puzzle that we had to
A puzzle, you said.
piece it together to make it fit right.
So I see you have more than a few butterfly bush in the garden. I can smell fragrance. It's really intoxicating.
I have really been enjoying this. This is new to us, monarchs.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Now the hummingbirds are starting to come, so it's really very joyful to watch them playing in the yard.
Yeah. Nowadays, you can only buy the non-invasive variety of the butterfly bush from nurseries, so they're not going to be self-seeding. You may recognize the hand-painted garden post by Jim Charlier from my other videos. It's wonderful to see how each gardener creatively incorporates Jim's striking and colorful design into their own landscape. Discover the story behind the garden post, along with many other garden design inspirations on Jim's blog, artofgardening.org.
This was a fabulous birthday surprise to me last year. There's another one in another part of the garden.
This is just so beautiful. You place this very whimsical frog statuary.
statue,
yes, right next to the pole. It just gives you a sense of a fairy tale. Yeah, this is lovely. Let's take a look at the other side of the garden. So you have many of the very lovely vignettes in the garden. Each small area, you create a focal point and you put something interesting and colorful surrounding it. It just creates, how do I say this, like many little stories throughout your garden. Tell us a little bit about this area.
That little greenhouse there I had seen on Pinterest, and I asked Dean if he could duplicate it, and Dean is extremely handy, and he did. And
Yeah.
it's really grown to be another favorite piece in the garden.
Yeah.
Many visitors really enjoy looking at
It's
it.
beautiful.
You know, I will switch it out. I'll probably put mums when it comes in
Okay.
fall.
Yeah.
And, you know, maybe decorate a little bit at Christmas so we can see it from the
Oh,
inside of the
yeah.
house.
Yeah, that's such a lovely idea. So right behind me, this is the real masterpiece by Dean. This pergola made by you.
Yeah, it kind of evolved from just a simple 4-post with shade cloth on it when the kids were little, and then they didn't like the bugs, so we screened it in, and it just evolved into what it is now. And we really, it is the centerpiece of the room or the yard. We really love hanging out there, and
It's beautiful.
yeah, the inside is the Adirondack theme. We have a lot of things that people have given us and antiques that we have and things like that.
So in the winter, what do you do with the?
The gazebo,
Yeah.
we actually take the curved pieces off on the top, and then I wrap it with plastic, and we actually store a lot of the garden stuff in there.
Okay, so not only you enjoy this in the summer, in the winter it has a function.
Yes.
You store all the
We have a lot of objects.
the garden arts and decoration inside.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a good idea. But I remember seeing the image of this structure somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah.
We had a big honor a few years ago. We were featured on the cover and inside of Buffalo Spree.
Wow.
And that was
Yeah.
a huge honor.
It's well deserved because
Thank
this
you.
is such a lovely garden. So much love went into it, and it's such a happy place.
Thanks.
So let's walk through. So you said so inside of the gazebo you have a scene. It's a Adirondack scene. So many times people would gift you items that had special meaning to them, but they want you to have it to be part of your garden.
It's a really very unique and so special. So our garden here is the story of many people, and it's all blended, and so I feel the garden becomes also all of our friends and families because of the stories behind so many of the objects.
Right. So the garden is not just your garden.
It is not.
It's everyone's garden.
It
So
is.
you share your garden with everyone. You invite the public to enjoy your garden, and they share their treasure with you. Yeah.
It is.
It is amazing how many people have given us things after they come, and they, you know, you do all this work, and you enjoy it. You enjoy doing it, but then when you see people come and they enjoy it so much that they bring you something.
Yeah. Oh, that's extra rewarding.
It is.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's,
Yeah,
it's, a, it's a
exactly.
great feeling, and
Yeah. So let's take a look at the corner of your garden. You have something quite special. Tell me a little bit about this area.
This little area over here is another vignette, and it is evolved into what you see here today, and it's probably one of my favorite areas now. Again, I was looking at different things we could do, and I asked Dean if he could duplicate, I'm not exactly sure what we would call
Yeah, this looks
that
like a
structure.
Zen garden to
Right,
me.
right. And framing it are grapes, Concord
Yeah,
grapes.
it's really beautiful. So you have this kind of a structure mimicking the shape of like a tower,
Correct.
and you have different objects and also moss. Are they real moss or faux moss?
Okay, I'm going to tell you, it's real moss, but I glued it on.
Yeah, but it's beautiful. Yeah, it's really beautiful. So one thing to add character to your garden is to utilize moss.
Yeah.
They would just add so much charm unexpectedly. Let's take a look at this area because I remember seeing something quite special. So here you are reusing old mirror, and there'll be a window frame, and you place the mirror in the back on the fence, then hang the window frame in front of it. It creates a sense of illusion, and it also increases the depth of your garden. So it really does look like there's a window there, and you're seeing the other side of the fence. Give you
Yes.
an illusion there are another sacred area of the garden. It's just so intriguing.
Thank you.
So right next to this area we have the shed. This is quite a large shed. Then you told me that it was quite a story how you are able to place it here. It's quite
Yes.
a undertaking.
Yeah, because when we don't have a garage, so we needed a big shed, and we contacted the Amish, and they when we told them of how big a shed we wanted, they said they couldn't get it in the backyard. They wouldn't be able to get the truck into that.
Right.
So I talked to them, and I asked them if they would just sell me the pieces. And they had said they had never done that before, but they said, sure, we'll do that. And so they sold us all the structure in pieces, and we went down and picked it up and just assembled it ourselves. So
Well, that's because you're a master carpenter and extra handy. This is, I mean, not everyone can have this kind of a shed in their garden.
It really comes in handy.
Yeah, it's a beautiful shed. So around the shed, I noticed you have more than a few found objects or repurposed objects. This would be the top of a telephone pole, right?
Yeah. We had a few of the insulators, and then one day I was actually jogging down a path, and I saw that laying in a ditch.
You mean wooden part?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I dragged it out to the road, and when I got my truck, and then we put it in here, and then Jody found the bell system sign.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So it kind of all tied together, and it's just a different piece.
Yeah. Talking about finding object by the curb, by the street, I heard a more extreme story. So one lady told me she found a cast iron tub by the curb that she really wanted to use in her garden. She just sat inside of the tub, claiming it while calling her husband to drive over.
Wow.
When the gardener sees something by the curb which has so much potential, we just cannot let it go.
You're exactly right. So the lean-to is an add-on to the shed, and we have friends that live in Springville, and they were taking down their really old barn. And so I asked my friend if we could have some of the wood. So the floor and then the actual bar over here is made from that wood.
Oh, those wood are beautiful. Yeah.
So we refinished that. And then one particular item that I'm really proud of is this chair here. That was our neighbors next door, an elderly gentleman we became really good friends with. And he passed last year, and I asked him if I could, his daughter, if I could have the chair. So we just like to have.
To let them have a second life in your garden.
Yeah.
So those wood are really, really beautiful. Yeah, it's hard to find them nowadays. Tell me a little bit about this area. It's kind of like an art installation.
It started out as a vegetable garden, and then through the years it evolved more into the flowers garden. And that structure right there, once again, that Todd out in Jettle Mills, he had a similar structure in his yard. But his were straight poles. And so I said, I really liked it. So I went to the store and got some pressure treated 1x2, and I split it. And then I stuck them in there, and unbeknownst to me, if it rains a lot, the poles go straight. And then as they dry out, they curve. So it's constantly changing shapes.
Wow.
And then we light it, so it gets a lot of really neat light at night.
So I would not call this a garden decoration. This is the art. Yeah, because I mean, it has aesthetic value. It also changes with the weather and with the season. So you are showcasing how the garden changes according to the weather and season in a more tangible way.
Yeah, it's definitely a conversation piece.
Yeah, I love it. So right next to the fountain and the pole, you have a large sitting area with more than a few sofa and as well as a bar. Your garden is a place for gathering.
This is probably the main gathering area because we'll eat dinner or have friends over and have drinks at this table, or we'll sit at the fire pit and have a fire. And it's a nice relaxing area.
So this long table, the bar, looks quite unique. Yeah, tell us a little bit about that.
So there was a long pallet where I worked, and we brought it home. Wasn't really sure what we were going to do with it, and then we came up with the bar concept, and it just lended itself to be that long.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful.
People love standing around it, and
it just adds character to your garden. It does not have to be perfect, smooth. Just it's so charming. Yeah.
Thank you.
And I see you have a sign at the corner of this gathering area. It reads, "Friends, it's a family we choose."
That's something that we really believe in. We have such a great group of friends that we hang out with, and they're just great people.
Yeah.
And they're our family.
Yes.
Part of our garden story.
Oh, so true. This is just lovely. So again, we're at Jody and Dean's garden in the city of Tonawanda. It's on the tour of the open gardens as well as the city of Tonawanda garden walk. Yeah, thank you for sharing your garden with us.
Thank you for stopping by and videoing, and everybody watching.
Thank you, Jay.
It's my pleasure.